We'll begin with the homework. And I know some of you were confused as to what measurements belong to which figure. Well, this was actually just a picture, right? I did not ask you to do, there's nothing around this figure. So you know we're not talking about that one, right? There's nothing around that figure. So we know we're not talking about that one. This one is very easy. If the radius is 10 feet, then we need the height for the volume, right? Which is the only other number available. I don't understand how anybody get confused with that one. But this is the height. There was no need to put any kind of sign on there because you only need those two measurements. Uh, for the triangular prism, this guy right here, triangular prism, you need three measurements, right? I want you to look at the numbers. Which one's the smallest one? The 4, right? And which was the smallest measurement on that figure? The base, the one that I put in red. Do I need to go over anything like where everything else goes? I don't think I have to because it's common sense, right? This one had an arrow. It's pointing at the height of the entire thing, right? And we know that in order to find the volume, we have to find the area of the base. And for that, we need the length and the width, right? 4 seems to be the width. We need one more number, which is actually available, right? That must be the length, which I put in little dots right here so that you can notice where it came from. I didn't think you needed an arrow, but apparently some of you could not figure it out, which I don't know how. Well, I mean, I just figured that you will be able to use common sense and get it this way. But that's fine. That's fine. For next time, I'll just put arrows. Um, anyway, we needed to calculate the volume, correct? The formula for the volume is capital B times H, which means area of the base times the height. Area of the base times the height. And we're talking about a triangular prism. That means the base is the triangle, right? We have to find the area of the triangle first in order to move on. So the formula will be like this. What is the formula for the triangle? Yes, and I'm going to use the other letters. Length times width divided by 2, just not to confuse you. So the length times the width divided by 2, right? And then don't forget to bring that one because we're looking for volume. Times H, right? Times the height of the prism. So now that we have the formula, we can plug in the numbers. But before we do that, what do we need to do? No. Look at the numbers. What do you need to do with them? Convert. We have to convert to decimal. So 13, what would it be? 13 point what? That? What is, what is 8 over 12 reduced? 2 over 3. What is 2/3? 66, but we're going to round to 67, right? If you use your common sense and you put a fraction, 8 over 12, simplify it, it gives you 2 over 3, right? Which is 2/3. We know that 1/3 is 0.3333, right? Well, 2/3 is 0.66666. So that's going to be that one for the length, correct? Let's fill it in. 13.67 times, what is the base? It is 4 and 11. So 4 point what? What is 11 over 12? 9 what? 916. So I'm going to round to 92. So 4.92. You won't have to do any much of that because you're using calculators, but I want you to understand, at least when you're doing it by hand, round. It makes it so much easier. Then we divide by 2, correct? Then we multiply by the height. What is the height? 416, so we would round it before 2, right? Notice how I'm putting everything together. First, I get the whole formula, then I plug in the numbers. And like PEMDAS, we start with the parentheses, right? So let's solve for the area of the base. Uh, when we multiply 13.67 times 492, 14, carry 1, 12, 13, carry 1, 7, 2. Correct? Uh, 9 times 7 is 63, carry 6. Fif oops, 6. 54 and 6 is 60, carry 6. 27 and 6, that's 33, carry 3. 9, that'll be 12. 4 times 7 is 28, carry 2. 24 and 2 is 26, carry 2. 12 and 2 is 14, carry 1. 4 is 5. 4, 9, 5, carry 1, 12, carry 1, 7, that'll be 6. And here's another problem that a lot of you made a huge mistake on during the quiz. On the quiz, not during the quiz. A lot of you don't know where to place the decimals. A lot of you answer the questions correctly as far as the numbers being correct, but the decimal was in the wrong place. Therefore, you got the wrong answer. Here's how you do it, in case you forgot. You count how many numbers are after the decimal in each row. 1, 2, right? After the decimal. 3, 4. You count the total. So there is 4, right? You're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Start from the right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The decimal goes right here. Probably almost half the class got that part wrong on the quiz. I don't know how you skip that one. I hope you kind of get it now. Don't forget that. Just count the numbers after the decimal, the total, and then use that. All right? So I only need 2 decimal places. So I'm going to use for the area, volume equals, oh, we're not done. 67.26, right? We're rounding. Divided by 2 times 13.42. Notice that I'm not messing with that 13.42 yet until I finish with that parenthesis. I cannot touch it. I can only just bring it down, right? So now we divide 67.25, 26, divided by 2. That's 3, 0, 7. That's 3, 1, 2. That's 6, 0, 6. That's 3. Is that correct? It looks right. All right. So again, volume will be that 33.63 times 13.42. And then we're going to do that right here.
Teachers, please pardon this interruption. If you could please send these students as soon as possible to make up the ACP and send these to the cafeteria. Carol Gaeta, Deja Dominguez, Nancy Ramirez, Eric Gonzalez, Otoniel Tiburcio, Asenit Benitez, Gilbert Corpus,
Maybe I shouldn't record this.
Aguilar.
Sorry about that interruption. All right. So here was the other part that a lot of us just got wrong completely. And this is why I asked you to use graph paper. Because you can't, if you put them each number in a box, it is almost impossible for you to mess it up. You can only add what's in that same column, right? And it seems like a lot of us did not. So that'll be 6, 4, 10, 1, carry 2. That'll be 10, 23, carry 2. That'll be 9, 11, carry 1, 4, 5, 4. And again, you count the decimals. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the volume in this situation, in this thing, this shape figure, it'll be, notice what happens here. Pay close attention. Look at our numbers. You might think you're going to have 451.31 because the 4 won't round, but that's a problem because the 6 will round this to a 5, and the 5 will round up this to a 2, right? So that's where you stop. You will get 32. That's why I always say start from the very end and round that way. And this is feet, right? What kind of feet? Cubic. Cubic. It's not squared. So that should be the answer. If for whatever reason that you got the decimal part wrong, that's okay because I know that you probably didn't round. But at least if you got 451, I'll take that one. What? Okay, something happened with the decimal probably. That's fine. All right. So let's go to the next one. The next one is really easy, and you when you see it, you're gonna be wondering like what happened here. So to find the volume of a cylinder, all you have to do is find the area of the base and multiply it by the height, right? What is the formula for the area of a circle? Pi times r, which is the same thing as pi times radius squared, right? And then times the height. So we're going to do pi times 10 squared, right? Times the height, which is 22.5, right? That was easy. What is 10 squared? All right, so we're going to put 3.14 times 100 times 22.5. Well, when you multiply the inside, you actually get 314, right? So 314, let me erase it, it's a little crazy. 314 times 22.5, and what do y'all get? That's it? Oh, 7,065. What kind of feet? Cubic, right? Or cubed. That was it. That was the easiest one, right? Good. Um, I think of all the shapes that we've done so far, the circle and the triangular prism are the ones that are a little more challenging because they're longer. Uh, but it is essential that you understand that because we're going to start working with cones, pyramids, and spheres, and they require a lot more work. So I need you to be very detailed. And you notice all this blue part right here, all the blue work? I keep it that detailed because it's easy for me to go back and see whether I made a mistake or not, or to see if I dropped the H at some point and didn't bring it down. That's another common mistake. People start, like, for example, right here, they'll just stop and not calculate that. And when they get to the answer, they end up giving me just this because they forget about the height. That's important. That's why I put it in the at the beginning. So keep those things in mind. All right, let's swap back to your owners, and then we're gonna do some stuff on IXL. All right, listen up. For the next part, we're gonna work in pairs, or you can work individually in pairs if you really don't get it. Um, but this is what I want you to do. We're gonna do this one together, and then the next one you do on your own. All right. So for this one, it says, what is the volume of the cylinder? Use pi approximately 3.14. All right? So that's what we're going to use. The first thing that I want to see on your paper, you can draw this, but don't take too long drawing it. I don't care about the figure. I care about the work. So you're going to draw volume. That's what you're looking for, right? Equals area of the base times the height. Right below it, you will write the formula for the area of that base, which is, in parentheses, pi times r squared, correct? Correct? Yes. Times the height, right? Now that you have that, you're going to substitute what you already know you have. So we know what pi is, right? 3.14 times the radius is 1 squared, right? And what is the height? 2. So now we're going to solve it. 3.14 times, what is 1 squared? 1, right? 1 times 3.14? Just 3.14. Times 2. So the volume would be 2 times 6 is 8, 2, 6 millimeters cubed. Cubed. Volume 3. Area 2. Yes.
I know how to remember because a 3D shape is
Yes. Yes. Thank you. That is a good way to remember. 2. A 3D shape has a 3 for the volume, and a 2D shape, which is a flat one, right, has a 2 for the area. All right. This is what I want to see on every single problem we do, all right? That kind of, I don't want to see your work everywhere. I want to see it in that order. You can do the calculation on the side.
I told you I was the one in green. Hey, yeah.
Obviously, it was the first one, the other one too. All right. Let's do this one. This one is different. I'm going to do it with you too. Because they're not asking you to find the volume, they are giving you the volume. So you have to work backwards, but you're going to use the same formula. I mean, the same setup. Let me erase this. Follow along. Please don't lose me on this one because you're going to see a lot of these on the homework. So it says we have to find the value of z, right? We don't know that. But we know the formulas, right? The volume equals area of the base times the height. What is the formula for the area of the base? Length times width. Why are we dividing? That's not a triangle, right? That is not a triangle. Times the height. We do not divide on this one because we're talking about the entire thing. So, what do we know? What numbers do we have? The height, the length, and the volume. But how can I make this easier? Well, they give us the volume. You got to read, right? So can you, did I tell you that, remember yesterday when we were talking about prisms and that any of them could be the base, right? It just depends on what it's landing. Can I just grab that figure and like land it on where the numbers are so that this is my base? Can I do that? Absolutely. Because I just told you any of them could be the base, right? So now I will have the air, the volume, which is 3. No, not 3. 1. I hate this thing. It's 108, and that equals the length, which is 6, times the width, which is 2, right? Times the height, which we don't know. Can we multiply that? What is it? Why are we dividing? Hang on. 12h, right? Does that look familiar? What can you do? You could plug in the answers, yes, but sometimes they're crazy. So we divide by 12, right? To isolate the h. H, you get 9. There you go. That means h is 9, or z is 9. The what? At the end, yes. Okay, yeah. But not in the formula. So be careful with this one. Sometimes they'll do the same thing with the a cylinder. They'll give you the measurements for the area of the base, but not the height. You can still work it out and do it algebraically. All right? So for this one, the answer is 9. Move on to the next one. This one you will do with a team partner or on your own. Go. All right, guys, so let's start with this one. We can't take all day, unfortunately, otherwise we would. Hello? I know. Volume equals area of the base times the height. The formula for the volume The formula for the volume for the area of a circle is pi times r times r. For those of you who get confused with like whether r squared means the number times itself or times 2, just use r times r. It's so much easier. You don't have any confusions. So you're not the only one, by the way. There's a lot of people who do that. And then times the height. Now let's plug it in. 3.14 times 9 times 9, right? Times 15. So that would be 3.14 times 81 times 15. Here's another trick, guys. For those of you who struggle with decimals, if only one of the rows, only one number has a decimal, then just drop it as long as all the way down, as long as you're keeping everything aligned. Here's what I'm talking about. 4, 1, 3. Are we still aligned with the numbers? Yes. All right. So 8 times 4 is 32, right? Carry 3. 8 times 1, that'll be 11. Carry 1, 24, and 25. So that'll be 4. That'll be 3. That'll be 4, 5, 2. This is what I mean by dropping it all the way down. If you use graph paper, this decimal will fall all the way down to here, right where it belongs. And you can do that only and only if one of the numbers has a decimal and the other one doesn't. If both have decimals, then no, you have to count them. All right? That's a good way of calculating that, but we're not done. Yes. Yes, it's not R2, it's R squared. The reason why I don't mind, like I want you to do that is that if you're confused, some kids will think it was 9 times 2. And like I said, there are many kids that do that. That's why we use R times R sometimes. Many kids see that as like it's a 2, and you don't even think about it. You just multiply 9 times 2 and you get it wrong. Do you understand that? If you know you struggle with that, use R times R. That's going to help you and keep you from making any mistakes. So now let's multiply by 15. That'll be 20, carry 2, 15, 17, carry 1, 21, carry 2, 25, 27, carry 2, 10, and 2 is 12. 4, 3, 4, 5, 2. When you add it, that'll be 1, that'll be 5, carry 1, no, you don't carry anything, 1, carry 1, 8, and that'll be 3. And the decimal again, because it's only 1, you just drop it all the way down. Again, it's only because one of them has a decimal, the other one doesn't. But if it was more than one, if it was both of them, then that wouldn't work. So the answer is obviously A. Yes. That's what I said. You can count them. The problem is that even that way, some kids get confused. I know. I know what you mean. But I just have to explain it both ways. Sometimes this way works better for some kids. It doesn't always work, like I said, because if both of them have decimals, then you can't just drop the decimal. You have to actually count at the very end. All right. Let's go to the next one. What is this? Did I get something? I got prizes. Okay. Oh, what happened here? Yeah, I do. Oh well. Yes, because we skipped this one. Well, the book skipped all of this. They're going straight to other stuff that is a little more advanced. So I have to cover this because you didn't cover this in the last grade. Remember that you're skipping a whole grade. So, all right, do that one on your own. And I will have one more after this one for your DOL. And then your homework will be to do 10 of these. 10 of these on IXL in the format that I just showed you with all the steps and all that stuff, all right? Let's do that. For those of you at home, I want 10 of these. In case you're wondering how many I said, 10 with all the information that I added. All right, go.